have to talk about this topic. People being in our age who are really at that stage of, do I move out? Where do I go? Sometimes moving to a different city. Saad, how was it, going to, because please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Denmark, was that the first time that you were really living on your own for that long without like any family?
Yeah, that was. So in total, I was living on my own for 6 weeks. And I think it was actually just an amazing experience for me. And I think there's so much that I got to discover about myself. And it does sound a bit cliche when I say that, but there's some things that you do, especially when you live with your family, that you do because other people do them. And then when you have the opportunity to make your own choice, you can be like, no, I can do this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a wrong choice. It just has to be kind of your own choice. And so that was a very interesting kind of thing to learn about myself.
Brilliant. So, would you mind giving us just like an example, like just out of the blue? It doesn't have to be for you, but just
This is just like a kind of silly example, but like in our house, my parents, they put cheese in the freezer,
hmm,
and I always find that impossible, so I put it in the fridge. And so it's like small things like that, which are like don't necessarily that make that big of a difference, but it's also about like having that like opportunity and choice to kind of do what I want and what I think is more convenient for me.
I can totally understand what you mean, Saad. I know at my own place, I love everybody here under this roof, but one thing I'm not good at is sometimes what's the word, self-control with respects to junk food. And I always tell everyone, like, hey guys, please, like if you can, do not buy pop, do not buy chips. If they're not in the house, I can't have it. But there's something about opening up the fridge and noticing them there. It just, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine what it would be like to live on my own and really, you're in charge of your own grocery list and you're in charge of certain
That's actually
things.
another thing that I really enjoy doing because it's the same in my house that my dad and my brother, they love to eat junk food, chips, and all sorts of weird things. And I mean, as much as I disapprove, when it's in front of you, you can't necessarily help yourself and not have it. So when it was really up to me to make those choices and be like, oh no, okay, I'm not going to buy these things, which I know are bad for me. And so it was really fun to go grocery shopping and then kind of it does get, I have to say, there were bouts of time when I felt lonely and a bit depressed, but it's also important to learn that that is just a part of life and you can move on with that.
That is brilliant, Saad. If you don't mind sharing, my friend, because my next question was just going to be, what is the hardest thing about, living on your own? And would you say it is that loneliness that just it's quieter around and less people to talk to? Like, I mean, not obviously like that because you can still go out, but I just mean, not the constant chitter chatter of people amongst you.
Yeah, there is that whole thing of when you live with people, there's so much like extra conversation that goes on. And especially in a family, like even when you're washing the dishes, you're talking to someone or you're complaining or you're having a fight or anything at all.